First thing that I did when I got my locks was buy a pair of frames. This was the first thing that I did. I bought myself a pair of non-prescription glasses. Yes, I was faking the funk because I just wanted to add a little bit of extra, swag to the look. What's good, YouTube? TP Locks here, bringing you guys another video. Yes, today we're going to talk to you guys about 5 ways to get through the ugly stage. If you're interested in that video, stay tuned. Per usual, you guys, if you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button right now. We have just hit 17K again, you guys. Another week, another 1K. We really appreciate all the support. Go ahead, if you haven't subscribed already, smash that subscribe button. If you have hit the subscribe button, definitely make sure to hit that notification bell to stay notified on all the posts the moment that I post. All right. Let's get started. Now, this video comes per request of That's Ash per the community tab, okay? Every now and then I will post questions on the community tab asking you guys what content you guys would like to see. If you guys are paying attention to the comment section, give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much because you guys are positively contributing to the content that we create. That being said, the ugly stage. First thing to understand, you guys, is we shouldn't be calling it an ugly stage. The period most people commonly refer to as the ugly stage is usually that period between the first month and sometimes the first year, but typically that 6 to 8 month period where your hair is really frizzy, it's starting to bud, it's just really not at that mature stage. It's not ugly, it's just, it's just going through the process. We got to learn to embrace that process so that we can embrace our journey, okay? Today, you guys came for 5 practical things that are gonna help you get through that phase where you might not be feeling as confident, you might not be feeling yourself. I'm gonna be giving you some things to help you get through this period with confidence and just maintain that commitment to the journey, okay? First thing that I recommend you guys to do is find a lock buddy. Now, what is a lock buddy? Maybe this is a phrase I coined, probably not. A lock buddy essentially is somebody that's either going through the process or going through the process with you at the same time, preferably the same phase or period where you're undergoing your locks so that you guys can hold each other accountable. I believe that with this lock family, community is everything. That's why I started my channel. There's no worse feeling than starting a pair of locks and feeling like you're alone in the process. So a lock buddy is really gonna allow you to really have that person that's gonna be there and be able to hold your hand step by step through the process. If you don't have a lock buddy, you can definitely cultivate pages, YouTube channels. That's why YouTube channels can be extremely valuable because you can find someone that is near or close to your exact same phase in locks and you can just follow them, follow their journey, see what they're going through, compare their experiences and your experiences, and you can be encouraged by the things that they continue to commit and endure through and hopefully take that into your journey. This is something that I did very frequently early on with my journey, you guys. I found lock pages like Gunther the Great. Dynasty TV was probably the closest resemblance to me as far as like my lock length. Remember, before I got my locks, I had seen his page, I had seen that he had high top lock, and he wasn't my lock buddy per se because we didn't have a lot of actual personal communication, but he was somebody that I knew I could track and see, okay, that's what I have to look forward to. Okay, that's potentially what my hair is gonna look like next, okay? Definitely keep in mind that when you are trying to find a lock buddy, you want to make sure that to make it the most impactful, try to find someone that's got your same hair texture, hopefully your same length. If not, the closer the better. Okay, that way you have the best insight from their experience. All right, but that's tip number 1, you guys. Find a lock buddy. Find somebody that you can share your journey with. Now, the second tip that you guys can utilize, you guys, is wearing hats, just like this. Beanie, fitted caps, just covering the hair in general. What this is gonna help you guys do, it's gonna allow you to seamlessly sort of transition from your loose hair confidence to your locked hair confidence. You've never had locks before. This is probably your first go around. It could be your second go around. In that adjustment period, a lot of times you're having to learn on the fly how to maneuver in a world with locks that you don't really know what they're gonna look like from one day to the next. So what a head covering can often do is sort of keep your hair out of sight and out of mind, give you one less thing that you have to think about. And as you slowly develop that confidence, you can start to, depend on that hat less and less. Now, obviously, ideally, you don't wanna overuse hats. You don't wanna depend on this or use it as a crutch. The goal is to not need a hat, but I'd be lying to you guys if I told you when I first started my journey, going through the quote unquote ugly phase, that I wasn't wasn't utilizing hats. I was wearing any head covering that I could possibly wear, and depending on what job I was at, if they were letting me wear hats, I was wearing hats. If you can keep your hair out of sight, out of mind, the more time that you give yourself to develop that confidence, the better. And the more likely you are gonna be able to stand true and stay committed to that journey, okay? So that's the second tip. Head coverings, hats, utilize them to stay committed. Now, the third tip I would recommend to you guys is to switch your swag up a little bit. Sometimes adding a new piece or an accessory can give your overall look just that extra piece of that you need to sort of get you over that confidence hump. Now, when I first got my locks, the thing that I utilized, the first thing that I did when I got my locks was buy a pair of frames. Okay, they're a little foggy right now. I'm gonna take these off. That was the first thing that I did. I bought myself a pair of non-prescription glasses. Yes, I was faking the funk because I just wanted to add a little bit of extra, swag to the look. In addition to glasses, I also would do things like wear headbands. Sometimes I would, take my clothespins and style my hair in different ways just to spice it up just a little bit. I think this is gonna be extremely important, especially with the quote unquote ugly phase, because you do want to showcase a little versatility. You do want to have a little fun with your hair and your overall look. As you embark on this lock journey, you're gonna have to discover new ways to make sure you can cultivate that same confidence that you were able to maintain with your loose natural hair. Whatever it's gonna be for you, try to find that thing. Maybe it's jewelry, maybe it's prescription glasses like mine, maybe it's getting a piercing of some sort, just maybe it's a little compliment. Now obviously you guys, this is not an ideal suggestion. Again, ideally we would want to be able to stand on our own too and maintain locks on their own merit. But we understand that sometimes it's gonna require you to do something a little additional to get through that hump. And I get it, because again, when I first got my locks, I was rocking these things, man. I needed a little extra swag. I needed to rock something to sort of give me that little, just a little bit of extra, feel good to be able to rock my locks confidently in a public setting, especially a public corporate setting, okay? So again, accessorize. Number 4, you guys, this is one that I feel like you guys, most of us are already taking advantage of right now, so you already know. But this one is using lock styles. I'm talking barrel twist, lock knot, 2-strand twist if you can rock them. Even I know some stylists who are able to put braids, over locks. I think these things are gonna be extremely impactful for you if you're finding yourself having a hard time in this ugly phase, because again, just like the previous tip, it's gonna give you that ability to showcase that versatility, showcase the different looks that you can have with your locks. The name of the game when it comes to this journey, especially when you're having a hard time, is trying to find new workarounds to make the journey easier for you. That may not always be ideal, it might not always be conventional, but these are the things that have worked for me. I know in my very early stages when I would rock barrel twist, even when my locks were not mature, it really did sort of help give me a new air of confidence, a new swag about myself. Or you can do that. I think the more fun you're allowing yourself to have with your locks. Obviously, you definitely want to make sure that you consider your specific hair type, your specific hair situation before you just, go get a style or go get barrel twist. Definitely want to make sure you consider that. But if you are able to maintain styles, if you are able to use them, definitely use some styles to spice things up and add a little flair, just like in the previous tip. It's just showcasing that beauty in another way. And if you can do that, go ahead about it, man. But that's tip number 4. Tip number 5, you guys. The last tip I have for you guys to get through your ugly phase is to develop new hobbies and goals. Now, one of the biggest benefits that you can take from your lock journey oftentimes has nothing to do with your hair at all. In fact, one thing I learned in my journey is that we should stray away from things like vanity. We should stray away from those superficial things that, often cause us a delay or a pause in our confidence. In my ugly stage, I started a YouTube channel. You could also do things like trying to learn a new skill like piano or an instrument or a language or reading new books. You guys, the possibilities are endless here with this tip. And the reason why I recommend this is because it's all about not focusing on your hair. The beautiful thing about your journey is that we understand that the benefits are not just your hair growth and this just superficial thing where you got locks now. Like the long hair, that's an amazing benefit to the lock journey. But oftentimes the additional aspect aspects of it, like the skills that you cultivate, the interpersonal skills that you learn, you know, the patience that you learn, the commitment and the discipline that you develop as a result. These are things that you can also cultivate with these new skills. Really, the big reason why they're so impactful is because they're gonna serve as a great distraction from just thinking and being obsessive with your hair. When you obsess over your hair and you're in the mirror every day, I know this is natural to do, but when you're doing that, it could take the fun out of it. It can really take the fun out of it. So if you don't want to be so obsessive, you don't want to drive yourself crazy, try to make yourself a new challenge, something that will take your mind off of looking at your locks every day. You've established your regiment, let your regiment carry your locks to that next phase. But as your locks go to the next phase, definitely want to make sure you're improving as an individual in some way. Make it a challenging goal. Make it something that takes your focus away from just paying attention to your locks. For me right now, I'm trying to lose about 10, 15 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm still carrying baby weight from my first, and she about 3 right now. So, you know, just, yeah, you know, I ain't really doing too well on my on my additional goals, but you know, those are just things that are going to really help you guys, because again, you don't want to be obsessed with this journey. You don't want to be obsessed with the progress. You don't want to be in the mirror every single day looking at your hair like, what changed, what's different, and how, when am I going to get through this? It's not what we want to do. That's not what we want to take from our journey, okay? Some of the beauties of this journey are oftentimes the peripheral things that you learn as a result of having locks, okay? So just don't focus on it too much. Don't be too obsessive. Learn something, challenge yourself, and grow, all right? That's tip number 5. Hopefully these 5 practical tips have given you something to take. Hopefully I provided you some information and some things that you can do right now that are gonna help you on your journey. Again, I definitely wanna reemphasize that there's no such thing as an ugly phase. Your locks are gonna do what they gotta do. They're growing, they're developing. I mean, you wouldn't call a pregnant woman ugly. You know, she's growing a baby. Of course, she's gaining weight. There's a lot of things that are happening, but that process it's something that she has to undergo to get to that ultimate life at the end. And while that may not be a perfect analogy, the point is that you should just treat that phase of your locks like it's art. And I've said this several times in several videos. Treat yourself and everything that happens, every change with your journey, like it's art. Because when you can embrace it like art, you can truly appreciate it. You can truly embrace it and accept it for what it is, okay? It's not ugly. It's just a step towards your ultimate goal, okay? Hopefully this video helped you guys. It's TP Locks. Signing out.